Hi, it's Trekker Joe. And as you can see, my base has been puttering along off camera for a while. I did actually record this episode, of the one where I set this all up, but I decided it was just a lot of video footage, but for so little. So to summarize what happened off camera, I have made this entire box for components because I realized I did not have storage space for components. In addition, as you can see here, I have Izzy's autocrafting set up, and I wanted to actually set the whole of that up. The way I did that was I just got the Izzy's inventory manager, put it in the programmable block, went and made sure that the assembler that I use for manually crafting things myself has the exclamation point manual thing, and then made sure that all the tags were correct. For example, you use exclamation point IIM autocrafting just like this, and you get the autocrafting thing. And if you want to set it to produce more or less of something, you can actually do that by putting it on the wanted side of the equal sign, and it'll start producing that item. And of course, I kind of don't need to do that, but I may as well just double up the detector components because they do actually get used a bit more than I'd like to say. I had to set these up specifically. I forget what this was called. I think that was like exclamation point inventory, and then you go into the custom data. Oh, just like that, and it shows. And then you just put in like the name of the thing that you want to do it, and it takes the ID of it and looks for something with the word in it. So by putting component here, I basically, any item that has component as part of its ID gets displayed, and then I put no heading so that there's no heading. And then I did this with ingot too, and so I have items containing ingot and ore, but I also kept the headings so I could see. And then this one is just the diagnostic one, which if I check, that's just IIM main. That actually makes this pretty easy. And as you can see, it's just puttering away. Okay, description over. So my mining drone looks a lot different. I gave it a paint job, and it's called Sumo. Say hi, Sumo. Close enough. There's so much wind. Ha! It's finished! I have quite a few concerns about these ships that are just kind of passing overhead all the time. I think I need something to actually deal with that. And I have a system set up that is good enough for what I need to process all the resources. I still need to upgrade this refinery to actually make it efficient. And I do need to like move some stuff around and make sure, like, for example, the wind farm needs its own place, and things like that. In this little production area, I might start working on moving things around and building a proper building. But we're not going to worry about that just yet. Defense is my primary concern here, and as a direct result of that, I want to design and build a series of towers that are going to protect the base. I think I'll start with two or three of them, maybe 4, and give them a little bit of a distance away from the base, but still have them with enough range to actually defend the base if something were to fly past them, which they very well might. Okay, so let's see. So static defensive structure time. Thinking... want one here. Oh, it's when I walk. What's my hand doing? When I move side to side, when I'm walking, it's doing like this weird open and close motion. What in the world? Okay, so this is about... let's go to about 300 meters from the respawn pod. because it'll easily be able to handle that. Huh. Yeah, I guess this is fine. And I'm just gonna build a base here. And the front of the base is going to be shaped like this, but the back is going to have some sloping. Because that's just how I kind of want it. And then I just build up the front here, 8, 9, 10, and then I actually cut this down. If I have this turn in, I could just place an armor block there. Or in this case, actually, I want to place a conveyor block here. They changed a lot of things between this episode and the last episode that I released. One noticeable thing is just the fact that they regrouped a lot of stuff, so you're going to see me going through and re-equipping groups quite often. I wonder if like they made like turrets and things a group too. Oh yeah, they did. So I no longer need to worry about having only one. A missile turret, interior turret, Gatling turret. Okay, so I want a Gatling turret mounted on top of that, and for now I'm going to just have it be hollow because I don't really want to give it the full complexity. I mean, there's also the fact that I kind of need it to go out like this so that I can attach a wind turbine to the back, and that's going to provide power to the entire structure. That's going to be the tower itself. Although I guess I could move this thing quite a bit down. It could even be mounted on the base. And I may just choose to do that. It's definitely going to... It's definitely has to be out of the way though. So I'm just gonna not kill myself and see where this takes me. I'll be back when I have a proper wireframe of everything planned out. I'm going to interrupt my current process here just to show you something that I'm going to try to do to make it super easy. I want to make it pretty easy to just weld up. So I'm going to do that by having a projector set up specifically so that I can put in the thing. And I think this is forward. And if that's forward, then this is top. And I can just put that in the ground, which is that's about level. And then put the wind turbine on top of it. And then wind turbine goes on top of that. And then I want to have a control panel on the back here. Or I'm going to want to be able to control it through some means. So putting control panel probably like this so that I can see it would allow me to actually build the control panel. Oh, by the way, you might notice that the welder and grinder are a lot quieter, but the gun, the click, that's pretty loud. I installed a mod called Sneaky Sounds, made by Splitsy, and it's amazing. So yeah, you should probably use this if you are ever going to record for this game, because it'll prevent a lot of problems with sound being overpowered by welding grinding. Anyway, I want to put a decoy here. Okay, I need to actually build up the Gatling turret first. That's not a big deal. I will be back once I have this entire thing welded up, I guess, and then I'll start working on the rest of it. So I'll see you then. Okay. You might notice a couple things. I did upgrade my welder, so it welds a lot faster. Also, it turned out I didn't have the metal grids I needed to finish off this turret in one go. So I wound up going on a little bit of a mining adventure by that cobalt and nickel mine back there. I mean, I needed both nickel and cobalt, and you get it in trace amounts from stone, but not nearly enough to actually produce anything, any meaningful amount of anything with it. So yeah. So now I have the turret built. I should be able to build the decoys. Yes, there we go. So that should be on all blocks. Kind of surprised it isn't. I'm just gonna give it 2 decoys. Really, it should have 3. And I may just extend that out. And so now I have 3 decoys. And these decoys at the base of the turret should distract fire and prevent the turret itself from getting destroyed. Now, of course, this thing looked so much better in my head, but I can refine and update the design as I need. For now, though, it's just going to be really chunky, and I'm just going to have to deal with it. If a ship's flying about, I think I can just... Oh no, I actually do need an antenna. I'll work out the antenna a bit later, I guess. Maybe I could just wind up placing the antenna in that empty space and just leave the empty space open for modifications. The initial idea was that I could put in the thing to get up there, but really I could just put up a ladder somewhere and then climb that to get to the turret, and that would be just fine too. We'll see. Anyway, again, I'm going to be back after I've welded this entire thing up because it's going to be tedious and I'm not necessarily interested in making you sit through all that. Ugh, that's a lot of radio communication components that go into that. I thought I only ever needed like 6 at a time, but I realized for a large grid, no, you need 40 of them. And that's just excessive. Welp. Haha. Time for me to weld things up and get the last of this design done. And honestly, this is probably gonna be the defense tower. Gonna have everything. Let's just arm you.
Energy low.
Ignore my low energy. That turret's gonna be fine. Let's build a small cargo container because I realized I can't have a connector here. I should put a cargo container because then with the cargo container I can just place stuff inside, like things like missiles. So if I decide to make missile turrets, like turret gantry things, then I should actually have some cargo containers that can hold quite a few missiles. And then of course I want to program a block because I'm eventually going to create a little quickie script that's just going to turn these turrets like show on HUD on when I lose a certain amount of stuff. And then this thing has a lot of stuff for me to build. So yeah, once I finish that, I'm definitely going to have to go and make a blueprint of this and then overlay the blueprint and have the projector do the blueprint thing and then blueprint the blueprint also. Okay, I forgot a block. Yep, I'm going to have a lot to do. Here we go. 5 times because I was a doofus in how I did it. I wasted so much of my precious resources. My fault. That's entirely my fault. That's actually annoying. I'm just dead. You get my old tools. Ah. That was 1 death. Added 1 death to the cost here. Oh, this is taking such a long time. Okay. How about let's paint this thing. So I'm going to go and I'm going to paint this and see if I can make this thing look cool. Yeah, I guess this is what it's going to look like for now. And then I'm going to work on it maybe a little later off camera to try to make it look better. But yeah, really all I have now is to wait for this antenna to build, and that's probably not enough of a reason for me to not actually just call it and say I'm done. I wanted to spawn in multiple of these, but just making the basic prototype that to throw down is actually taking all of my time. And I have no clue how much I can actually do. Also, it appears that I have the right amount, so I should be able to actually do this now. It only costs me a death. Yep, 10 more. I'm just gonna go and trade my... No, not that. I just need to go and trade hydrogen bottles. I shouldn't turn that off. I knew I would eventually have an accident related to that, but I didn't want to face that reality. So yeah, there we go. There's an antenna now. So that should mean that if I go into the terminal here, and I am just gonna say, you're a Gatling turret, you have the maximum range, I can just control you, and now I can zoom in on things and see what they are. And if I wanted to, I could shoot, but I'm not going to because that would be wasting ammo, and I don't waste ammo. Maybe I should build ladder. Maybe I should build ladders. I do not have ladders. Give me a moment while I build an interior wall. Okay, interior wall complete. So that should mean that I can build ladders now. Yep. And I should probably use these interior walls because they're actually quite light. And I guess I can just queue up several of these. Put them starting from here all the way up to here. Maybe all the way up to there. And I could replace this with a proper corner block. But I think the idea is that I might not even need that. We'll see. Let's try by... let me build the ladder, please. Oh, it does not... okay. Okay. I see what's going on. So, I have to climb on top of this ladder. Why can I not climb the ladder? Is it a problem? I guess I don't want this in the way, for one thing. Okay, that's why. Okay. So it's just not going to include this then. That's interesting. I also want to check something. So if I did something like this. Okay, that still works. So I can still do that, and then I have a ramp to get up to the front with. Okay, let's actually control this and take a closer look at this transport carrier. Not really close by, but I can use it to spy at stuff then. So yeah, there is that. And then this programmable block is just unfortunately not going to be easily accessible, but I can just do that by remote. So it's not actually a big deal. So, this is my defensive tower, and as you can see, it has a Gatling turret and some decoys, and it should be able to stop any small ships from coming in. And so, I might actually just go around and provoke some bases. I'm going to build a second one of these on the other side of my base, and I'm going to then go and provoke some assertive installation spaces to spawn. That way, I can get a little bit of a taste of danger, because I haven't gotten one in quite a while, and I do want to just have enemies to worry about. Anyway, I will see you in the next episode. See ya.